Hi, welcome back to me and Mon Ami, and today we are out in our Citroen Ami in torrential rain to try and give you some idea of what it's like to drive this vehicle on a winter's day. So hopefully we've got all our cameras rolling and they're not going to get flooded, but as you can see already inside here, we are steaming up. We've got the fan on and we've got both windows open, which of course is not exactly ideal, but to be fair, right at the start of this I have been setting up the cameras, the microphone, so I have been inside here sort of for about 10 minutes steaming it up. So it wouldn't be exactly like this when you set off, but it doesn't take very long in the rain before the windows start to steam up. Now we have got anti-fog spray on there, and that does make a bit of a difference, and we have got the fan going, you can probably hear it, and we have got an enormous puddle here which I really am not going through at speed. That is horrible. There's puddles and then there's
ponds.
Yeah, completely debilitating floods. So yes, as you can see, when it rains here in the south of France, it really does rain. People think it never does, but when it comes, it comes. So yeah, the first thing to say is, as we've commented before, but in the rain, when you've got the different temperatures, it does steam up in here, and you need the fan on, and I'm afraid it's often you have to open the windows because it just gets too steamy. The second question people often ask in relation to driving this quadricycle in the rain is it relates to whether it's 100% waterproof. Well, ours has been absolutely perfect, I have to say. We've had no problems with the door seals, and I do think that Citroen made big improvements in the first generation of these quads, when I think some people did have issues with leakage around the seals of the doors, but we don't have a problem. The only thing you can get a problem with, but I mean, I think this is true of any car really, is when you open the door, obviously you can get drips off the roof, and you can find yourself with a sort of a small puddle caused by that, but we certainly have not got any problem with water ingress. But what about the performance of the windscreen wiper? Singular, there's only one. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine for the driver's side. It's a bit less good for the passenger, and that of course sometimes means that when I look out to the right here, because of course this is a left-hand drive vehicle and will be so in Britain for the British market, when I look out to the right here, sometimes I've not got quite as clear a vision as I have here on the left, where my wiper's doing the works. As you can see, it really is tanking it down now, and I'm not going any more than about 25 kilometers an hour, and I don't feel like it will be very safe to, because the fourth area to think about in terms of this vehicle and the rain is of course braking, how quickly it stops. My experience, the brakes are excellent, but certainly on gravel, you'll have seen in some of our other videos that it can slide. I think it may be partly to do with the lightness of the car and that the tyres are not that chunky. So what I certainly wouldn't want to do is to come down here at 45 kilometers an hour, which is what I would normally do, full on 28 down here into Nice, and then suddenly find myself having to slam the brakes on, because whilst I think the car would stop, you may find it sort of sledged on a little bit. We've certainly had evidence of that on gravel. So I think, you know, you've just got to be a little bit careful. What we're going to do now is an experiment, which is we're going to close the windows. We're going to leave the blower on to try and help keep us clear. Let's see just how long it takes for us to fog up, or whether our anti-buoy spray and in combination with the fan can keep it away. Bear in mind, we have the fan, all of these quads have got the same fan, but they later did a modification, just a slight modification, Citroen, in terms of how it funnels the air. Any of the models I think that you'll be getting in the UK will have the better version. So ours is perhaps not funneled as well as it should. We've probably done about a minute now, and we're just beginning to fog up a little bit at this edge. Storm. Is this Storm Denise?
Storm Denise Van Outen.
Denise Van Outen. You see now it's beginning to get a little bit tricky on my side. Oh my goodness, these puddles are so enormous. It's beginning to get a little bit tricky on this side. I still feel safe enough to drive, but the steam is encroaching. The fog is encroaching. As I say, we have had the spray on this and it does make a difference, but it doesn't solve it entirely. Having to go super slow because I really don't want to flood the car. Poor Elton. Still just about okay. My little cloud is growing on this side. So you can see at the sides here, we are pretty much steamed up. If I was looking to my left to see whether there was traffic coming, I can see, but I have to say I wouldn't feel greatly confident. But this is a terrific rainstorm and it's getting worse, I have to say. In fact, I can even feel my lallies getting a bit chilled, Mr. Boo. My legs are getting a bit chilled. So that's giving you an idea of how the steam is growing. It's the fog is, the James Herbert fog is coming in from the right-hand side over here now. So it's beginning to sort of try and join up in the middle. But we are still being able to see, but there's no use pretending that this isn't an issue, and it is an issue that's made a lot easier by opening these windows. That said, it is not super cold here. If you were somewhere where it was a lot colder, opening the windows may not be as much fun. But I think very soon that's what we're going to have to do, because it just makes you feel a little bit insecure when you're not seeing all of the road. I'll open the windows and see how long it takes to clear. See what difference the windows make open. So both windows open and still pretty steamed up on my side. Don't jump, madam, don't jump. Beginning to clear a little bit. Of course, one downside to leaving the windows open so you can see out the front is that you do get some water coming in. If you can see that, Mr. Boo, on the side here, you know. So you just got to be aware that if you've got, like we have, some of your electronics in the baskets alongside you here, not a good idea. They're getting a bit wet. One trick might be to let the air in but not the water in, is to sort of angle your window like this. The problem is that it's sort of free floating. So I do know there are some companies who do a sort of computer printed little thing that clips in here and here, and so you can keep the window at that position. Might be quite handy in wet weather, and sort of to keep a bit of the heat in, but to allow some air through. So there you have it, proof that the Citroen Ami works in the rain, and proof that it does occasionally rain in the south of France. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a like, please think about buying us a coffee, and remember, stay charged. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.